Hello, this is Jacqueline Brooks with CraftyJackStamping.com. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. And I'm here today to show you how to make this cute little treat box using the brand new from Stampin Up Petite Treat Framelits. As you can see, or when I looked at it, I was a little confused, so it took me a little bit of figuring out how to use it. The base, which makes a square, can either be square, and you see it has these nice little notches that you can put it in with the base framelit. It also has a double circle one and a big circle one, and as you can see, I use the big circle one, and it's pretty nifty here. You just clamp these in, and if you're using your magnetic base, then it fits just fine and it stays. And that's how you cut it out. Okay? So once you get it cut out, then first of all, you have to start with a piece of DSP that's 6 by 5.5 inches. And this is what it looks like after you cut it out. I don't know if you can see it, but there are these little divots in the paper that will help it fold, okay? But what do you do with it when it's like this? Well, you put double-sided tape on it, and I put the two-sided tearing tape that Stampin' Up has, and it works really well. One thing you have to make sure you do is burnish it once you put it on. So make sure it's on there really nice and tight. It's okay if you don't have it going all the way to the edge, because there's going to be two sides that stick together. So the first part you want to use and remove and tape. It's a little tricky because you can't do it flat, but it's this edge, because you need to make it into a tube. Okay, so the first set of divots, if you can see them, are right here, and that tells you about how far you need to go with your tearing tape over to the other side. The good thing is, if you're not sticking it down carefully or hard yet, you can usually remove it. But it's very important that you get the whole space when you tape this. So there it is. You're going to have to burnish it with your hands to make sure that you've gotten it tight. Okay, so then how do you make the folds? Well, thank goodness those little divots help it. So you just squeeze it at the very end there, and you squeeze it at this very end, and it just kind of folds right into place. Now, as you can see, you can't seal both ends when you're preparing this until you put the candy in or whatever you're going to put inside. But you can do one of them. So let's do the first end. Now you want to make sure you burnish this also. Make sure you make it really sealed, nice and tight. And then this other end is pretty close to being in shape. Now, as you can see on this one, I put this nice little edge. And in the framelit set, they give you two, so you can cut out two at the same time. You don't have to run it through twice. So you can tape it before or you can tape it after. And you definitely have to wait until you've glued this part. And I'm going to go ahead and pretend like I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to actually glue it. It's a little tricky when it's not closed yet, but easy enough to manage. So since I used liquid glue, I'm just holding it a moment before I do the other side. This side is a bit easier because you can hold it down and line it up with the other side that's already been glued, and then you can just kind of squeeze it together there. And unfortunately I got glue on my finger, so it's sticking. And you know what you can do for that. You have to wait till it's very dry, but Stampin' Up sells this fancy eraser that you can use to take off glue. So it is a super handy little tool. So I chose to have mine look like this. In the picture, in the catalog, they have it like this, but then you have to be pretty level on it to see it. So I just thought like this looked fine. So what I did was I cut out a 2 1/4 circle with the punch. And one thing I did was I only glued put glue on the very top part of it. And that is because as this bends, not all of it's going to be touching. So I just put it in like this, moved it down so it looks even, and just held it. I pre-stamped and cut this little tag. I used the same framelit set. You see it has a nice little tag in there. And I used this stamp set to put the leaves on it and write and stamp the word peace. This is the Stylish Christmas clear mount set. And I put it on dimensionals. And so I didn't want it to be just straight, so I did it a little catty-wonkus here. And I just tried to center it. And I had a bow pre-made already, and I don't know what I did with it. But I just stuck it on with a glue dot. And there you go. You have a ready-made little treat box. All you have to do is use this to take off the tear and tape once you fill it, and there you go. Super cute. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please like it, and come see me at my blog, craftyjackstamping.com. That's CRAFTYJACSTAMPING.com.